Hi, everybody. Welcome to the finals of Grand Prix San Diego. I'm Brian David Marshall. I'm here with Marshall Sutcliffe, and we are watching Nathan Holliday on your left playing the dreaded eggs.
The dreaded eggs deck.
Yeah, against Sammy Tukeman, who's mulligan to 5, playing a blue-white-red control deck. He's got a number of dead cards in his deck for this matchup, and we're going to get to see what kind of hand he kept. And there you see one of those dead cards.
Dead card, and 2 lands. Now they're not literally dead. When we say dead card here, we're not referring to
the only real dead
that is actual dead. But the other 2 cards do interact with the opponent in the sense that he can bolt him and helix him. But the life gain isn't relevant in this matchup. The damage just isn't enough, right? I mean, getting him down to 10 or whatever doesn't do anything. We see an ideal. Basically an ideal start from Nathan Holliday, as he has the Ghost Quarter that he needs, he has the Chromatic Star that he needs, and he has the Lotus Bloom that he needs.
And
so
he's got it looks like 2 of the recursion abilities. He's got 1 each, Faith Reward and Second Sunrise, and he's got a Reshape.
Wow, so just an absolutely beautiful hand here. Oop, that's supposed to be 3. There you go. For Nathan Holliday, he is looking to be in great position by the time that Lotus Bloom ticks down to go off.
He knows he's under no pressure, so he can wait.
He can.
He can bide his time.
All right, now did he miss a land drop here, though?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so there's a reprieve there for Sammy Tukeman. Yeah, all right. So now we're talking a little bit. Now he can still get things moving with just the Lotus Blooms. He'll probably have to wait for the second one. But getting a basic land or any land going so he can start Ghost Quartering and getting an advantage
and the
is
first
a big
Lotus
deal.
Bloom gets Mana Leak.
All right, so Sammy was able to draw a Mana Leak in that time. And there's a land for Nathan. And we see the counters. The mana symbols are going to represent how much mana he has floating in any given time. This is a benefit to his opponent and also to players at home and to us.
So you see he's Ghost Quartered himself. He's got a blue floating. He's going to reshape that Chromatic Star into a Lotus Bloom and attempt to go off here. Reshape for 0, goes and gets a Lotus Bloom.
Mini Master players, your pairings for round 2 are going up on the call.
Now he can sack that Lotus Bloom for 3 white, play Second Sunrise.
Yep.
And then he'll put Island, Ghost Quarter, Lotus Bloom, and Chromatic Star into play.
Yeah. So things looking pretty good for Nathan Holliday. After finding the land. Reshape this one as well.
Wow.
Still gets to draw his card as well. That's a sweet looking
And we're
foil.
off.
Yes.
I mean, this is with his Lotus Bloom getting Mana Leak this turn.
That's true. He just doesn't care. Nathan Holliday, not one to be afraid of a Mana Leak.
And so it's Second Sunrise, so you see Sammy Tukeman sacrifices his Scalding Tarn.
So he gets it back.
So he's going to get it back.
Build back up to another Mana Leak, potentially.
And, you know, sometimes when you're playing a combo deck and you don't have a ton of experience with it, you're like, you're thinking about what do I have to do here, and you're kind of
sure you
laboring.
don't screw it up.
You're laboring over that turn. I mean, Nathan has obviously just played this deck a
he's
ton.
super comfortable with this deck. He's even finding time to shuffle his cards and,
Legacy players, your pairings for round 6 are being posted on the Chase banner right now. Legacy round 6, your pairings are up.
Yeah, you got to be able to do a lot of
He's
shuffling.
only got those 2 card draws, though.
Okay. 2 card draws in the form of Chromatic Star.
Right.
And
he is also holding a
Twin Cast.
starts filtering.
And he's drawn another second Sunrise here. I think he's trying to find out if he has enough to do 2 of them in one go here. It gets pretty complex when you twin cast it, which is something that I didn't know they were doing. I haven't seen that before, but then there's a lot of stuff on the stack.
Yeah.
Pyrite Spellbomb.
Pirate spell and
He's just drawing with
draw
it.
a card with it.
Yep. Sack both of these. That other Lotus Bloom that has a counter on it, that's a
For 3 white and 3 blue.
suspend, so that one's not going to be relevant this game, it looks like.
2 blue left.
And 2 blue left means that he can twin cast. He is facing down a potential mana leak here, I suppose. Yeah, he just lets it resolve.
Right. Well, and with the twin cast, he can mana leak the mana leak back.
True. Good point.
So now he's able to go through 3 cards with each iteration.
So gradually growing and growing. Again, you know, the pieces that need to happen for the second Sunrise combo deck to go off, or he needs to be...
And there's a flask.
He drew a flask as well?
Yeah, he did
okay.
draw a flask.
Yeah, that's a source of card draw that doesn't cost mana every turn, so that's nice for him. He needs to have a card draw. He needs to have a way to increase his mana every turn. And he needs a way to keep doing that. And so far, he has been able to find each of those pieces. He's got 1 more recursion spell left in hand, but he's got a decent amount of card draw coming here. Ooh. That just fell out of his hand, I think.
So remembering to put those in the right pile.
Brian Glenn to the main or the silent stage, please. Brian Glenn.
Another Gataxian Probe is revealed. He's going to make sure he's going to have that in his hand if he wants to do it. He doesn't care about the life that it's going to lose him. It's just a free card draw.
If you signed up for a modern win a box and it did not fire, it's going to now. Come to the side of the stage and we'll get you going.
Both on top? Dig a little deeper with Serum Visions. No mana in his pool currently.
Okay.
So there's the Gataxian Probe. He's just going to instantly reveal it. Pay with Phyrexian mana. It's going to drop him down to 16. He gets to see Sammy's hand, which is also nice. And his hand is nothing. So nope.
No cards that matter here.
None. So the way is clear. So Nathan Holiday now knows that it's all on him. All he has to do is completely combo off here, and he's going to take the first game against Sammy Tukeman in the finals here in San Diego. Elsewhere, Flask is going to be sacrificed to make his lands into, well, probably just islands again.
Okay, so here's the twin cast.
So now he knows the coast is clear.
Right.
And he doesn't have to keep it up for a mana leak. So
So he shows him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Sammy says, well, I want some value. I'm going to
Yeah.
sack that in
Like,
response.
I'd like some lands.
That's right. So what's going to happen is the copy is going to go on the stack. He's going to go through all the motions.
Right.
And then the other one's going to resolve, and he gets to go through all the motions again. So this is going to happen twice separately. So these are coming in, and the reason he's put that second Sunrise up there is that one's actually still on the stack. Isn't Magic fun?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty.
This is fascinating stuff to me. I know, like, I'm the geek of Magic Geeks, so I like this stuff. Like, I will watch people play eggs.
So, and this is something we saw Stanislav Slivka do.
Yes.
He also have flasks on the stack. He's like, in response,
Yes.
I thin my deck with a
That's
Ghost
right.
Quarter.
And oftentimes they will use a Conjurer's Bauble to
Right.
to
And
put
it's one of the
something
cards
back
he's
in.
looking for right now.
That's right, because he can put back in cards from his graveyard and then shuffle and give himself a chance to draw those. And as we say that, he draws another Faith's Reward here. So he still has a second Sunrise on the stack coming. He still has all the draw and the effects that he has on the table here. And then on top of it, he's got another one in his hand. So things are looking very, very good for Nathan Holiday here.
Sacks that.
Is going to fire. Please come up. to
Makes
the
6 mana.
judges station.
Has he drawn a card
Cliff Chen
from his...
and Noah Smith.
Did he ever draw that card from the Elsewhere Flask?
Going to start.
Probably,
Please
right.
come up to the pillar here beside it at judges station.
Now we see Sammy Tukeman has got another land, but again, he can't really do anything with it
No.
save a Helix
Yeah.
or a Bolt. Or
Helix
whatever.
in a Bolt. Otherwise,
But
he has a
should-
Johnny
but-
Vengeance.
But should Nathan fizzle, he's going to be in a great position.
Sure.
With all this extra mana.
And that's what he has to do now, is play as if that were going to happen, even if he knows that it's not a big chance.
So now we're going to see reshape for 1 and go get a Conjurer's Bauble.
Yep. Good call, BDM. That was the one mini piece that he was
Right,
missing.
that's the piston he needs to just so that he's constantly putting
Yep.
the key cards on the bottom of his library and shuffling with Ghost Quarter. Even if he runs out of land, he can still Ghost Quarter and
For shuffles.
yeah.
And you see him do just that. Draw a card. There's another Faith's Reward. So it's looking really, really good for Nathan Holiday to pick up
He
game
shows
one.
he just shows him the 2 Fates Reward.
He just showed it to him?
And that's
Okay.
enough for Sammy.
Yeah, it's a tough spot as a combo player because you want to be able to say, look, I definitely have you here, but at the same time, you don't want to assume that just showing the guy means that he's going to concede. People are wary of that at high level competition where it's like, no, you're going to have to go off, but at the same time, they don't want to waste time, But in that game, we had seen the Pyrite Spellbomb as well, so like there couldn't have been any shenanigans with that it was already gone or something. So that was it. All right, so we get sideboards now.
By the way, I just want
Go
to
ahead.
take one point. We saw the telltale tattooed arms of Dan Ward,
Yes.
and someone we saw in the feature match area, someone who played in the last round for there he is, right, playing for top 8.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's something that people do a lot of times. They'll go to a PTQ or they'll go to a Grand Prix and they'll lose.
Yes.
And they'll just kind of stomp off,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
right?
We call
And
that slinking.
slinking off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And he's there and he's like watching. He's like, let me see what I can learn. Let me see what I can take in. Let me see what would it have been like if I'd been in the top 8. He's soaking it all in. It's just something. I think that's
think
just
that is
like,
great.
People always ask you, I know, how can they can get better? What can they do to
Yes.
improve their performance in a Grand Prix? It's just like, watch the people who go further than you.
Yeah, that's great.
Watch what they do.
Sure. He's chatting with local judge Chad Havas there.
He's
Maybe
like, I could
getting
have beat
some
him, right?
rulings. Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about sideboard. Sorry, that
Yeah,
was a
so
little bit of an
this
aside.
isn't one of those. This isn't one of those sideboards where it's like, oh man, he's going to bring the goods here. But he does have some stuff. We're
Yeah.
talking about Sammy here. Sammy's going to be able to bring in Stony Silence, which is really, really good.
Yes.
But he has to protect it, and he has to have it in his hand.
I think
Nathan, go
Stony
ahead.
Silence, I think he's also going to bring in Surgical Extraction.
I think so too, for sure. Counterflux as well, just because anything to get some of those other cards out of his hand is going to be better. Then the Path to Exiles all have to go. There's 3 of those.
The Wraths have to go.
The Wraths have to go. So there's 3 of those, and there's 3 of those. So that's 6 cards right there. If he brings in 2 Purges, 2 Extractions, and 2 Counterflux, that's a straight swap.
Right. So Nathan, on the other hand, will almost certainly be bringing in two Silences.
Yeah. The Silences aren't going to help against... So they do get to see each other's lists. So the Silences can help against counterspells if that's what he's worried about, but they don't do anything
what
against...
he wants to do is have Silence and Echoing Truth, right? He wants to be able to Echoing Truth and have the Silence...
To
for
protect
the,
that.
Yeah, to protect that from
Sure.
the spell snare that we were talking about earlier.
Sure. Yeah, and 4 Echoing Truth are going to come in.
And it looks like
He doesn't have anything else, though.
dudes, throw away some of those other deck lists. You only need the only need the one at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in a couple days, be in Boston
Yep.
doing the Magic Online Championship. It's going to be webcast live on March 22nd and March 23rd. That's Friday and Saturday.
Super excited for that one.
You're going to see 16 of the best online players in the world, including reigning Magic Online champion, Reed Duke. See if he can defend his title against 15 upstarts.
Yep. Grinders, man. These guys know the game. They
People
play
from
every day.
all over the world.
Yep.
South America, Japan,
That's gonna be
Canada,
really fun.
The U.S., Europe.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. We're going to be playing Cube. We're going to be playing Sealed Deck. And they're going to be playing Standard.
I'm pretty happy.
And it's the new Cube. So if you look at my article from Friday, there's a link in there to the contents of the new Magic Online Cube, which I'm sure you will be able to draft at home as well.
Yep, that's true. And you outlined some of the players in that article.
I've done profiles of 12 of the 16 competitors over 2 articles.
Good.
With 4 more coming just before the event.
Great. It's always good to put faces and ideas behind those screen names. Playing against a guy a bunch of times, finally get to see what he looks like.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stats that we Magic Online, everything's sort of captured. So we know how many times these guys have played each other on Magic Online.
Oh, wow. Somebody tapped Lee Sharp's shoulder and was
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
man.
I don't remember who it was. One of the guys is like 14-4 lifetime against one of the other competitors.
Oh, wow.
Which is by far the largest sample size.
It is.
Yeah, it's the largest amount of matches out of any two players have against each other. 18 matches.
14-4.
14-4.
Oh, man. We might have to bring that one up when we're over there. If the guy wins.
Yeah.
The one that's 4.
Yeah.
Then we can bring it up.
Okay, we take a look at our bracket and the road that these two players have traveled to get here. And again, both of them, took down some pretty big, talent along the way. Sammy Tukeman had to beat a Pro Tour champion.
He did.
In the semifinals. Nathan Holliday had to beat a 2-time Pro Tour champion in the quarterfinals. And then had to beat multiple, 4-time top 8 competitor Eric Froelich in the semis.
Yeah, and both of these guys, we're not talking about, these guys that are back in the day a top 8. These guys are currently 2 of the best players
Eric
playing.
Froelich just, coming off of a top 8.
Right.
Not
a
just
month
a few
ago
weeks
or
ago.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and really it's that kind of that dream, right? It's like when you're a kid and you're thinking about playing in a baseball game or a basketball game and you think about, putting up the, the winning shot over the outstretched hand of Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean? These guys, probably thought about it. Man, I go to the Grand Prix and I'll go to the quarterfinals and I'll beat Brian Kibler.
Yeah.
That's
and then actually getting
exciting.
to do it. It is awesome. And even more awesome is if you make it all the way and win along. Not only do you beat those guys, you also take down the whole thing.
Well, Nathan is 1 game up. As Rich likes to say, the first person favored to win this tournament all weekend long.
That's right. Yeah.
Sammy Tukeman hoping he gets to work with 7 cards for this match, for this game.
Yeah, he did take some pretty serious mulligans there, and even what he ended up with in Game 1 wasn't particularly great.
Super Series Standard. Standings before
There's a
round
mana
7
leak and some lands. I don't really know what else you'd want to see
seven
besides
are now
that.
going up. Super Standard.
Nathan
Does not have a Lotus Bloom.
He does not have a Lotus Bloom, but he has everything else.
Due to the competitive nature of it,
I think they both kept, yeah.
Yeah, and we're underway. Celestial Colonnade for Sammy Tukeman, a.k.a. the win condition.
Yes.
Ignore that announcement. I was wrong.
You guys can hear the PA. Somebody made an announcement and says, never mind. Players were laughing. All right, there's an echoing truce, so that's something that Nathan is going to want in his hand at some point during the course of this game, although right now it's not
And you
ideal.
also see silence, which
Ah, yes. So he has some pieces, but he doesn't have that explosive mana draw that we were talking about.
yeah.
All of this stuff is resolved.
But again, not under any real pressure either.
Right. And right now, Sammy knows that that first mana leak is going to be able to nab a second Sunrise or a Faith's Reward.
Or better yet, a reshape.
Or a reshape. In the meantime, since Nathan probably won't be under much pressure, he can start cycling through and try to dig to the pieces that he needs. I mean, these are the things he wants on the
At the
battlefield
same time, he
before
doesn't want to
casting.
cycle too much.
No,
Right?
you want those in before, but I mean, if he can't go off, he can't go off. Probably just wants to build up his mana until he can hit Silence plus Recursion.
Remember, he also has the ability to bait some stuff out of Sammy. Like if he casts silence, you know,
Yeah.
Sammy's got to have a brass pair to
Yeah, it's true.
Say,
To
yeah,
just be
okay.
like resolved. Yeah, no problem. All right, there's a hollowed fountain, so that gives him access to white mana for the Silence. Although he doesn't have the ability to... No, actually, he can. He can go for Silence Reshape here.
Yep. And he's like, I will cast silence. What do you got?
I mean, if Sammy
Yeah.
wants to counter it, he can. And then he has to represent Spell Snare or whatever. Because Spell Snare can actually counter Reshape, right? If you'd Reshape for 0.
Yes.
So, leak that. So then the question becomes, does Nathan want to burn a Chromatic Star and potentially run right into Spell Snare? I mean, it's not going to get any better for him. So he might just do it. And here comes the little blue mana symbol. There they are.
Right.
Wow, he's ghost quartering right now.
Yeah, he's just doing it. He is attempting to go off. He's like, I don't believe you. I don't think you have the spell snare.
Call.
Call.
All right. Let's see what happens. There it is. Reshape away this Chromatic Sphere.
Wow. And a spell snare there would have just been back-breaking.
Yep. And now he knows the coast is clear. There are no spell snares to be had. He knows that he doesn't have spell pierces. Okay. Lotus Bloom, no mana floating.
But he gets to draw 2 cards here.
Does he have a second Sunrise?
He does.
Okay.
But that's all he has.
So he can draw a card with Bobble,
Right? He can run the mana, 1 mana through the
this star.
star.
Yep. And he can draw a card with Bobble, and if he wants, he can put something on the bottom. I don't think he wants any of those, though. Probably just won't. This is risky, though. If he goes off here and bricks, then he's going to have to just shift the turn back and might not have a whole lot going on.
So he sacks it.
Add
Makes
white.
3 white. Yep. 1 white. 2 blue, 2 white, 1 blue. Draws a card.
All right, Spellbomb. He's just going to leave the Bobble. Okay, here we go. So he is attempting to win the GP this turn. He's got his opponent in a position where he knows he doesn't have anything relevant,
Right?
and the coast is clear. The question is, can he do it? Sammy took his time writing that.
So he's going to Put that on the bottom. He has
got a
some more card draw.
He does. He's got a chromatic sphere. He's got the Ghost Quarter engine going. What he doesn't have right now, I don't think,
is another recursion spell.
That's right.
That's,
so
you know,
that's,
a
this is
risky
going to be big.
That's a risky Ghost Quarter.
Here he goes. He has officially committed. So he's got a couple of draws from those chromatic stars. I also saw that he drew a chromatic sphere. He's got that Lotus Bloom up there, so he's going to have the mana. And he needs to hit one. He's also got Serum Visions in hand, which can help set it up. So he's going to play that first, I'm assuming. Really? Okay, I guess he's going to crack a star here. Draw. He hits another Lotus Bloom. That's not going to do much here. So he's got a blue mana in his mana pool, you can see up there. Well, he's still got that Lotus Bloom up there, so.
He still has the Serum Visions in hand.
Yeah,
too.
he didn't play it, though. He decided to crack the star. Let's see what he does
That's
here.
fine. I mean, it's.
Well, don't you want to set it up in case you hit it in the next two?
Yeah.
All right, he's going to play Chromatic Sphere and just cycle it, and bink, right off the top. Faith's Reward. That's what he was looking for, and now he has to just make sure that he plays this absolutely perfectly.
He has 1 mana in this pool, so he has 4 mana. Oh, my head.
Yeah, you see him put his hand on his head. He's going to cycle this, draw a Conjurer's Bauble. He can play the Bauble.
Yep.
And he's going to put Reshape on the bottom. I guess he wants to do that so he can get way ahead with Lotus Blooms.
Sure.
And he's going to make white, sack that, play Faith's Reward, and off we go. Okay, kids, buckle in. Here we go. In a few turns, it looks like he might have done it. Now remember, he still needs to hit more recursion effects, and that deck's pretty big still. He's not thinned it out a ton. So he does still need to get there, but it looks he's got 5 draw steps plus some thinning, or 5 draws, plus some thinning.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to bobble that reward back in and then shuffle as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't bobble.
Yeah, I'm
the
surprised
reward
too.
in there.
I'm surprised
before
too.
he.
I guess he's got another Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, he's got the Ghost Quarter still.
All right.
So cut you to 8 lands.
Yeah. Ideally. Although that's going to get shuffled again anyway. All right. Faith's Reward goes on the bottom. Didn't see what he drew. It was another Conjurer's Bauble. Ghost Quarter now, and as you can see, that Faith's Reward is still on the bottom of his library. Now it's going to get shuffled into his deck, giving him
And he's still got
a chance to
an
draw.
impulse on the table.
An impulse?
Well, and he gets to look at the top 4 cards here.
Oh, just draw them. Yeah, for sure. He's got
Yeah.
a Tidings on the table.
Yeah,
man.
well, yeah. He only
what's
cares
better
about
than
he only
looking
cares
for
about
John?
1 card.
That's true. That is a good point. So
Yeah, it is a tidings. So.
here he goes. Make a blue. This is the first one. So he needs to hit in this string of cards a Faith's Reward
Or a second sunrise.
or a second sunrise. Conjurer's Bauble. That's not it. There's an Elsewhere
That's
Flash.
an Elsewhere
though.
Flash. That's another draw.
It is. Chromatic Star. Hits another Chromatic Star. So he's drawing more draw spells, but he has not hit that critical recursion spell. Is he going to fizzle here?
He has the Serum Visions. He has 2 Serum Visions.
Okay. He's going to want to save a draw effect for that. Serum Visions lets you draw a card, and then you can scry the next 2. So if you put one of them on top, then you need to have a draw step, a draw effect. And there it is. Second sunrise. Things are looking a lot better for Nathan Holiday as he finds that desperately needed second sunrise. He was getting a little tight there, but
Start singing
now all
the
of a
theme
sudden,
song from Annie.
what's the? Are you going to sing that?
No, I'm not going to sing it. Print reporter Mark Calderaro was just going to show us why he's a print
That's it.
reporter.
That's it.
All right.
Nathan Holiday wins.
Wow.
And that's it. The Eggs deck is
Our modern
our
season
champion.
started with an Eggs win at Pro Tour at Pro Tour Return to Ravnica.
That's right.
In the hands of Stanislav Sivka, and now several months later, the season ends with an eggs deck.
It does indeed. Oh, you can talk to him. Are you going to talk? Okay, yeah, I'll talk to him. Here he is. Hey, aren't you supposed to have a trophy or something? You can help him with that? All right, we're going to get Nathan in. Welcome. Have a seat. Yeah. And so we're going to get a microphone on you. Yep. You can't see his head in there, but it's there. There's a skull somewhere. All right, are we good?
I can feel my phone vibrating. Like
Yeah, everybody's
people.
texting you, telling you how awesome
Yeah.
it is that you just won. So we're just getting the cameras on to us, but congratulations.
Thanks.
How does it feel, man? You are now a Grand Prix champ. Can you talk us through the last few turns as you played? I mean, you did this a lot of times throughout the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
Was it any different in that last one?
Well, the last one was it was pretty tight. Like I didn't have extra sunrises.
Yeah, we saw.
So I thought if I let him untap, you could easily have Cryptic or something, or
Uh-huh.
Stony, or draw something very good. So like, there's even if I fizzle, it's not that bad. I drew a lot of eggs. So like, worst case scenario, I am down like a couple lands. I'm not gonna sack my bloom until the very end anyway.
I see.
So like, I'm gonna be able to play a few eggs. So it was definitely right to keep going.
Okay, and
And
then so worst case, you ship the turn back to him, and then you have to worry about Cryptic Command or him drawing like a Stony Silence.
Yeah, then I have to play a longer game, which is hard against the deck with as much hate as he has.
Mhm.
So I got very lucky to get a very good hand, like, and win on turn 3 with a silence, so he had to counter that.
Throughout the course of the weekend, how was the deck? I mean, you won the tournament with it. Obviously performed. Was it like amazing, or were you like eking out wins at every
It was
corner?
pretty amazing. The deck's really insane. Like, I'm kind of surprised that Lotus Bloom is not banned, honestly.
Okay.
Like, banning Seething Song but not Lotus Bloom is like, I mean, it's fine because of the popularity of what was being played, but Eggs is much better than Storm. Well, I don't know if that's totally true, but it's like, it's very, very good.
Uh-huh.
Like,
The deck seemed amazing every single time we saw it on camera. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Also, Twincast is a slight upgrade to Silence, I think, in the main. If you're really worried about like blue-white control, then Silence is probably better.
Uh-huh.
But like, your main plan against like Relic of Progenitus, which is a like Tron plays 4.
Mm-hmm. In
Like-
the main, right?
Yeah, in the main.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so if you don't have Twincast, you have to cast 2 Sunrises to because you cast one and then they respond with Relic and you have to cast another,
Mhm.
which is a blowout for them. But you have to have enough mana for that, and Twincast is 1 less mana, and it's like having 10 Sunrises.
10. Okay, yeah, that's a lot
Right.
more. I'm going to let you go because I'm sure that you have a trophy to get and some
Something
bunch
like that.
of
I
people
don't know
that
what
mob you.
happens, but you do.
But what? Yeah, but what I wanted to ask you before we go is, what was the best card in your deck for the weekend? Just like first thing that comes to your mind.
Second Sunrise.
That's it. Just the namesake of the deck,
Also,
and that's the one.
I mean, you could also say like 2 mana Tinker for Black Lotus is pretty good.
Yeah, okay. All right, congratulations again.
Thanks.
You are a Grand Prix champ. We did it. For everybody here, we're going to be signing off now. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe for BDM. For our champion, you can just wait for a sec. Yep. And for Rashad Miller, the tech team, everybody here from San Diego, thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next week at the Mox Championships from PAX East. See you then. And we're out. Hey, man.